同学们好.
去门好。
This is Young Family Tai Chi Traditional Long Form. We're in section 2, and I'm thinking of doing 2 new moves today. They will feel very familiar because they're very much like moves that you already know. So, since we had such a long vacation, I'm thinking of doing a little warm up, a little standing, and then maybe doing the form from the beginning. So, first and second section up to what we've done so far, which is diagonal flying. Okay?
Sure.
And part of the reason I want to do this is a couple of the moves from the first section are very like the 2 moves I want to introduce in the second section today. Okay, so let's do our little warm up. Okay, starting from your head, think about nodding. So up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and then side to side. Look to each side, one side and then the other, one side, the other, one side, the other, and shoulders, forward, up, back, down, forward, up, back, down, forward, up, back, down, forward, up, back, down, and reverse. Back, up, forward, down, back, up, forward, down, back, up, forward, down. And now we're going to do our waist. So stabilize your hips, bend your knees a little bit, and then with your zombie arms, we're going to turn your middle body and use your arms only as a marker. So your arms move to show you where your torso is going. Okay? So one side, and then the other. 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 Now we're going to set your arms free. So your torso moves and your arms just follow along. Okay? Now we're going to do hip opening. Work on your legs. So you turn one foot to the corner, and we're just going to do toe touch, heel touch first. So toe touch, heel touch, toe touch, heel touch, toe touch, heel touch, toe touch, heel touch. And the other side, toe touch, heel touch, toe touch, heel touch, toe touch, heel touch, toe touch, heel touch. And now I'd like you to do big toe, little toe. So big toe, little toe, big toe, little toe, big toe, little toe, big toe, little toe. Other side, big toe, little toe, big toe, little toe, big toe, little toe, big toe, little toe. And then hip circles, or rather knee circles to move your hips. Okay, so think about making a circle with your knee, and that will help open up your hips. Okay, and then the other side. Okay, now we're going to do standing, and usually we try to have some thing that we work on. This year we're going to try to do one of the 10 essentials every month. So this month is going to be the first essential, which is, well, the Chinese doesn't make much sense in terms of the translation. So just think about having your head up, okay? And in some ways, of the physical essentials, this is the most important because all the others follow from it. And Kelly had a really good image for this because very often we think about, having like a hook on top of your head and having something pull your head up. Kelly's image was interesting because she said, think about the bubbling well in your feet and think about having a fountain come up and it comes out your head. So your head is raised, but not in a kind of mechanical way, but as if the energy comes up from your feet and up through the top of your head.
Okay.
So I think it's a helpful image if another way to think of things. Okay?
Yeah.
So have your feet shoulder width apart or wider if you like. And we're going to do just a couple minutes of standing. Okay, so I want you to relax your knees, raise your head, hands, arms up, make a circle, and I want you to make sure that you feel all connected. So everything from your bubbling well all the way up through the top of your head. So think about the energy coming from the ground up through your spine. And yes, it goes through the top of your head, but also it moves out from your spine to your fingertips. So think about your fingertips. You should be able to energize your fingertips. You can get them to tingle.
Yes.
So I want you to feel that so that you have a sense of eventually, if you really move well, you will have that sense with all your movements, but it's kind of hard to do in the beginning. But this is your reference shape. So it's important that you feel comfortable doing this and that the combination of being relaxed and stretchy is the essence of this exercise. So think about connectedness. Think about extension, up and down, and out your fingertips. Make sure that your alignment is correct. Are your knees in the toe position? So don't collapse your knees. Don't raise your shoulders. Make sure everything is relaxed. Okay, believe it or not, your 2 minutes are up.
Good.
There you go. All right, so let's do it from the beginning of the first section. And then we'll, if you like, we can work on the last move that we learned last year, which was diagonal flying. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So starting from prepare. Feet shoulders width apart, parallel to each other, facing forward, head up, tailbone down, hands by your side. Prepare. Opening. Rotate your arms so the palms face back. Raise them up to shoulder level and then press down almost to the bottom. Grasp the bird's tail, ward off left. Shift left, turn right, all the weight on the right. Step and close, turn and shift weight. Ward off right. Shift right, turn the left toe to the corner. Pull left, ward off down right. Pull in the right. Step and close. Separate and shift weight. Roll back. Rotate your arms as you reach to the corner. Shift your weight back as your arms go to the other corner. Press. Rotate in the right, attach the left, expand forward. Push. Square up your shoulders, flatten your hands. Come back over a ball, hands in front of your chest. Push to shoulder level. Single whip. Shift back as you flatten your hands. Turn and pull all the way around. Press down, ward off left, hook hand right. Standing ward off step, deflect, strike. Raise hands and step forward. Shift back, turn the left toe to the corner. Push back, circle arms, root the right heel, close and put 30% in the front. White crane spreads its wings. Turn your hands, pull down. Circle arms, step and close, turn, step and separate. Left brush knee. Turn your hands. Swing, step, brush, strike. Handstrom salute. Yield forward. Pull in the back foot. Push off the ball of the front. Circle arms. Root heel. Set. Left brush knee. Turn the right palm up. Swing, step, brush, strike. Right brush knee. Front hand of the front leg comes up. Front leg turns to the corner, hands come to the center. Swing, step, brush, strike. Left brush knee. Front leg hand comes up. Front leg turns to the corner as hands come to the center. Swing, step, brush, strike. Handstrom salute. Yield forward, pull in the back foot. Push off the front, root the front heel, and set. Left brush knee. Right hand palm comes up. Swing, step, brush, strike. Parry, block, and punch. Front hand comes up part way. Front leg turns to the corner as hands come to the center. Pull down, make your fist. Swing, step, one line, two sides. Parry, block, punch. Apparent close-up. Yield forward. Passing palm. Left under right. Release the right fist. Come back. Square up. And push. Cross hands. Shift back. Chop as you turn your left foot. Palms facing back as you set your right foot. Cross at the bottom. Even out your weight and cross at the top. End of first section. So beginning of second section. Embrace tiger, return to mountain. Shift right. Turn the left toe past the corner. Swing, step, brush, strike, roll back. Circle your arms as your weight goes back. Turn to the side. Press. Circle in the right. Attach the left. Expand forward. Push. Square up your shoulders in the front foot direction. Come back over a ball. Hands in front of your chest. Push up to shoulder level. Fist under elbow. Shift back as you flatten your hands. Turn and pull. Right foot goes to the 12 o'clock. Press down. Ward off left. Push out right. Step to the corner as you ward off. Right foot steps parallel. Pull down as you pivot the left foot. Make your fist. Change your front footwork. Lift and punch. Repulse monkey. 1. Swing, step, set, pull and strike. 2. Swing, step, set, pull and strike. 3. Swing, step, set, pull and strike. Diagonal flying. Start turning your body as you circle your arms. Step and close. Turn and open. Okay. Any questions? Is there any part of anything you would like to work on? I should talk also about the adaptation for the diagonal flying. So
Yes.
when you were at fist under elbow, okay, you had 1, 2, 3. Now, when you're doing the adaptation, what you're going to do is just like the other one, your body's going to start turning. But what you're going to do is you're going to step behind first. Then you're going to step so that your foot is straight to the front. Then you're going to step and close and open.
Okay.
So it's in the opposite order. So the way you would normally do it is, let's see if so starting from here, the way you normally do it is you start turning, you pull in, step and close, and turn. Here, what you're going to do is, see, when you did the other way, you stepped and closed, and you turned, and then this foot turned in at the end. But here, what you're going to do instead is you're going to turn the foot first, and then open. So
Okay.
the back foot is already planted before you step out. And for the vast majority of people, you feel much more stable that way. So depending on how good your balance is and how flexible your hips are, I would suggest that you would do it this way until you feel pretty stable and then try the other way. Okay?
Rita, is
Yes.
the adaptation that you just showed with extra step, is that the only acceptable way? Can you, from here, I'm sorry if you can't really see, maybe you can't see, but from here to just turn the left foot just a little bit, instead of taking extra steps, you just kind of, remember I said to Nancy, the cheat, she said it's not a cheat, but if I just swing the left foot just a little bit, then I can get to where I need to be here. Is that acceptable, or do you have to do that extra step?
Well, you do what you can do, but that is a good intermediate because it's closer to the way you're supposed to do it. For a lot of people, what happens is that when they're here, actually what I'm doing is already an adaptation, which is that when I'm doing it here, I start turning and then I step and close. But what I'm doing actually is I'm setting my heel first and then turning my foot. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When Master Young does it, he sets his foot down, the whole foot. And I'm not flexible enough to just reach out and put my whole foot down.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is also an adaptation of the same type. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I did want to do an adaptation of the last repulsed monkey, in that instead of going to the 45, going straight back here, because then the foot's exactly where I just did it. But now I'm kind of, I mean, that's less obvious if, as you step back, you don't go to the 45, but you just kind of have it more of a 30 here. And then it's, that's a less obvious thing, but now I'm doing the last repulsing correctly with this, the stance.
Right. And the reason why they want the 45 is almost always they want you to have the straight and 45 as the relationship between your feet.
Right.
And if you have them both in one direction, they consider it less stable than if you have one at 45. But what you're doing makes sense in terms of making it much easier for you to reach out.
Right. Yeah. I'll just do the little move after them.
Yeah.
That little bit. Quad's getting better, but it's not there.
Rita?
Yeah.
Okay, when you step out, you land on your heel instead of your
Yes.
whole foot. I put my toe down.
Wow. That's
Is
interesting.
heel or toe better to get you to the next step?
Good question. Good question. Which is
And I think
better?
Generally
Rosie
speaking,
catching me.
generally speaking, you would put your heel down. because the
Okay,
heel is considered more stable than the toe.
okay,
And the other thing is that the heel, when it's well, on the next move, I'll show you the difference in terms of setting the heel and setting the toe. What the heel and toe set do is change the relationship of your footwork relative to your stance. So let me show you the next move, and
Okay,
you can understand this better.
all
Okay,
right.
so the next move is raise hands and step forward. You have
Oh,
already done raise hands and step forward,
yes,
but
yes.
from the other side. So the
Oh,
last time you did raise hands and step forward, you were
yeah,
at single width.
yeah,
Then you turn your foot, circled your arms,
yeah,
root the right heel,
yeah.
and close.
Right.
Now here, you're coming from here,
Uh-huh.
so it's a different direction. So the way Nancy teaches it is that you move your weight forward and then step behind. And
Oh,
she actually crosses her footwork a little bit because when she moves her weight back, she turns her toe so that you're facing forward. Now you have the 45 and forward, right? And then she changes the footwork to the heel. So almost always, if you're going to end up on your heel, you go from the toe.
mm.
Now, what happens here is that if you did not cross and you were here, what happens is when you turn your toe, you're pretty far apart, and you would have to essentially come in order to get your empty stance heel touch. So by crossing a little, what it does is that you have your foot in the correct position when you change from toe to heel. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So very often what happens is that when you do your pivots, if you pivot on the toe, what it does is it makes your footwork farther apart. If
Mm.
you set on your heel, it sets the distance between your feet uh, in a more secure way. So if I'm facing you here, if I step, if I'm here, well, let's see, if I'm stepping out here, okay. If I step behind, I'm slightly crossed, and I turn. Now I'm one foot, one line, two sides, right? And then I
Yes.
just change. If I did not cross slightly, if I came in here and I turned my foot,
Yeah, I see.
then I'm not one line, two sides anymore. Then
No.
I'd have to come back in.
Yeah.
okay, Rita. I'm not sure if I've been doing this because I think I don't cross, but I turn on my heel instead of my toe.
Okay.
So I'm,
So what do you mean by when you
well,
step behind
I step behind, but I'm not over. I'm like, my heels
and you
are,
just cross and then you just turn on your heel?
I turn on my heel.
Yeah.
I think I've been doing that. Is that, should I
What's wrong with that?
change it? Is
Well,
that all?
usually what happens is the reason you do when you move when you set your back foot, okay,
Okay.
while you're setting your back foot, your weight is at the front, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Then you move your weight to the back,
Yeah.
and then you change it. If you were on your ball, you would go to your heel or whatever. Generally speaking, you move from your ball to your heel if you're going to end up on your heel.
Okay.
It's like a yin and yang thing, right? You move off one in order to get to the other when you're changing. So you're here. So here, if you came back, see, generally speaking, you move from ball to heel or heel to ball, as opposed to moving from heel to heel or ball to ball. Do you see what I'm saying? So here, what happens is when I'm coming behind, my weight is forward as I'm moving this foot back, right? Then as I move my weight back, I change to the ball because when I change to the heel, I have to put my 30% forward, right? So if you're doing it the other way and you just did this, then it's like heel to heel. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just although there is one move where you essentially do kind of a heel to heel, which is the very next move, which is one that you already know, white crane.
Okay. Okay.
So if you think about you're in raise hands, when you do white crane, you shift all your weight back, right? You circle and look at the right foot. All your weight is in the back, right? You're on your heel and you're stepping heel to heel, right? But that's just about the only one. But that's a little different also because you're changing position.
Mm-hmm.
See, the other one, you're on your ball and then your foot is in exactly the same position. You're just, changing which part of your foot is down. Whereas in the case of white crane, you're coming down, circling, and step, but you're changing the position of your foot, right? So in that way, it's a little different. Make sense or no? Question?
So I should fix it. And now I know why.
Well, it has to do with weight transfer.
Mhm.
If you're going to put 30% on the heel, you're essentially, it's not exactly a push off, but it feels a little bit like a push off when you change. Do you see what I'm saying? So, are there any questions on the raise hands? It's similar but different. So you were here, then you come in, then you circle your arms just like the other one. You're pushing off. It feels like you're pushing off. You're not actually pushing off your toe. You root your heel, and then as you close, your 30% goes in. So it should feel like waist turn and 30% goes into the ground. Is that, you feel what I'm saying? Okay. So then from here, you're going to do just like the other one, white crane. So you're turning your hands. You're going to pull down. All the weight is in the back. You're circling your arms, step and close, turn, step and open. So if I do it from this side, it'll look like this. I'm here. I turn my hands, come down, circle my arms, step and close, turn, step and open. Yes? All review,
That's a
right?
toe also. That's not a heel. That's a toe then at the end.
What?
That's a toe at the end.
Uh,
Yeah. Do it. Go. Now don't you turn on the where you turned on your toe last time and then you put your toe out of your left leg. There's toe.
so I, so
Yes.
so I don't think of it. So that's just like the so-called heel on the other, which is that I don't think of it that way because when I come back, okay, I'm turning, but then I'm doing a really big change in terms of the position, right? It's like a step.
Yeah. Okay.
Where as opposed to going from here to here. But you can say that for the other one too, because when you're coming here, it is kind of a lift up to step. And the reason you don't do a pivot is that you're supposed to show that you have the option of stepping other places. So very often when you do a lift and step, it's to show that you may not necessarily step in that spot. And you'll see that in the third section also. Okay.
So it's like you're trying to psych out your opponent because you won't know exactly where.
That's what I was thinking.
Exactly. So you are changing your root foot when you step. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when you come down and you step, what you're doing is you're changing basically the stabilizing foot relative to the other foot. So if instead of coming here and instead of stepping here, I step here, that would change where the whole rest of the move goes. Right? So remember the next move, if you were in first section, you would be doing left brush knee, which is what you're going to do next. So let's say, let's go to the next moves, okay? So let's say that you're here. You come in, then you do white crane. And then you do left brush knee. So you turn your hands, swing, step, brush, strike. So that's just like the first section. The next move in the first section is the one move that you never repeat in the rest of the form, which is handstrom salute.
Right.
Instead of handstrom salute, you have needle to C bottom. Okay. So this is what it looks like in the direction you would be doing it. You yield forward just like handstrom salute. You pull in the back foot, but instead of doing this motion, what you're going to do is you're going to do this motion. And then you're going to change your footwork and sink down.
Oh.
So let me show it to you,
Yes.
facing you. Okay. So I'm at the end of left brush knee.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm going to yield forward. I'm going to pull in the back foot. Now, when I yield forward, I start moving my hand like this so
Mhm.
that I can come by the side of my face. Then I change my footwork. I'm one line, two side, and then I'm going to sink down. Now, how far you sink down is totally up to you. Okay. Don't feel like you really have to sink down a lot. But I'm going to tell you why you do this sinking down. Okay. So the reason you have this move is if somebody were grabbing your hand, okay, so you're here, somebody grabs your hand, you yield, you pull in your foot, and then you're trying to release it, right?
Mhm.
You're trying to get away from them, right? So this move is the getting away from. But let's say that they still are holding on. Then the next move is to get them to release. And the way when you see the move here, it looks like this. Okay. But actually what you're doing is you're doing this. So it
Oh,
looks like this, but what you're actually doing is you're
I
coming
got it.
around, and that gets your hand free. Do you
Ah,
see?
cool.
Do you see
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? So when you're trying to get away, change your footwork, and as you come down, you are doing that.
I see. Yeah.
Okay. So in the form, if you watch Mr. Yang do it, he goes way far down. But I don't want you to do that. I want you to maintain your body shape. So what a lot of people do, which is what I don't want you to do, is they round their backs. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't want you to do that. I
No.
want you to keep your back straight.
Right.
And I want you to have your elevation controlled solely by your legs.
Right.
Okay, so here, when I sink down, it's because my leg is bending.
Yes.
Okay, so depending on how comfortable you feel bending down, just do whatever is comfortable, but don't round your back.
No.
Okay, because this is not good for you. And you want to maintain your body shape. Okay. Any questions on that?
Rita,
Yeah.
I learned, when we're doing this, even if you don't round your back, not to lean forward, but to more sit.
Yes.
Okay, that keeps your better strength and everything right here. Okay.
Well, think about it this way. You want to maintain your center. You want to maintain your center of mass.
Right.
You see, when I'm here, my weight, the center of gravity, is still here,
Yes.
right? I don't
Yeah.
want to be here.
No.
I don't want, I want it so that my center of mass stays between my feet.
Mm-hmm.
So do what you can, but the most important thing is to keep your weight centered and your body shape intact. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. You want to try it?
Yes.
I will do it in the direction you would be doing it. So let's do it from, let's do needle C bottom a couple of times first, and then we'll do it from diagonal flying. Okay, so if you are at left brush knee, you're here. You're going to yield forward and pull in the back foot. Then you're going to move your weight back, change your footwork, and sink. Now you notice when I'm sinking, in terms of my handwork, I'm going out and then down.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going this way. Okay, so from here, I yield, but then I come back and then change my footwork and out and down. Okay, because if you think of the application, if someone's like this, you want to be out and down. Okay, you don't want to be next to your body. You want to be further out. Okay.
Rita, is your left hand, I thought I saw,
Your left hand is just like brush knee.
so you're saying, is it straight or is it your hand itself a position when you're coming back?
So here it's like you're pushing away as you're coming back, but
Okay,
then as you change your footwork and come down, it just rests just as like the end of brush knee, except
Okay.
that you happen to be down. In other words, if you were doing brush knee, you would be here. But now you're just down, but the hand is in the same position.
Okay.
okay.
Okay. So do you want to try it from diagonal flying?
Yeah.
Okay. So here we are at diagonal flying. You're going to pull in the left foot, circle your arms, root the right heel, and close. Then white crane. Turn your hands. Pull down. Circle your arms. Step and close. Turn. Step and open. Left brush knee. Turn your hands. Swing, step, brush, strike. Needle at C bottom. Yield forward. Pull in the back foot. Come back. Change your footwork and sink down. How'd that feel?
Question. When
Yes.
you sink down and you're on the ball of your foot, do you put your whole foot on the floor? Just to
No, when you're
clarify
on
that?
the ball of your foot, you're on the ball of your foot. Your whole
Okay.
foot is, your back foot has 70% of the weight.
All right. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So think of your front foot as being more positional, and you think about having the center of your weight between your feet.
Okay. Got it.
And that's also a clue as to whether your weight distribution is correct. In other words, if your weight is too far forward, you will feel more weight on your front foot.
Aha. Okay.
Okay, so you can tell by feeling the weight in your foot, whether your forward and back orientation is correct.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to do it in another direction just so that maybe you can see a little better. I'm going to do it this way. So if I'm doing diagonal flying here, then I come in, circle, root the right heel, close. White crane, turn my hands, pull down, all the weights on the back, circle, step and close, turn, step and open. Then left brush knee, turn my hands, swing, step, brush, strike. Needle at C bottom, yield forward, pull in the back foot. Push off the heel of the front foot, change your footwork, and sink down.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's do it one more time in the direction you would be doing it, and then we'll close class. We'll do it from diagonal flying. So here we are, diagonal flying. Raise hands and step forward. Shift forward, pull in the back foot. Circle your arms. Change your footwork and root the heel. 30% and close. White crane. Turn your hands. Pull down. Circle your arms. Step and close. Turn. Step and open. Left brush knee. Turn your hands. Swing, step. Brush, strike. Needle at C bottom. Yield forward, pull in the back foot. Push off the heel of the front foot as your hand comes back. Change your footwork and sink down.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that was why I wanted to do the first section as a review before we started this one, because there are so many moves that you kind of reuse. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Any more questions? Okay. Well, thank you for coming to class.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
同学们再见。
Continue to whatever.